everybody! It is Christmas Eve and I wanted to make a video all day, but I've waited until nighttime because I wanted my Christmas lights to be on and I wanted to be able to drink some sangria and talk to you guys about my experience with the holidays throughout life and why it's always kind of been weird with my family. I get deeper into the whole family thing at the end, so stick around for that. And what I'm doing this year. And then you guys can let me know in the comments what you guys did if you want to, what your plans are for next year after all of this business. I don't know if there is an after, but you know what I mean. Ooh. First sip. First time trying that. A little bit weird. That's okay. So, my family's always been broken. My parents divorced when I was 3 years old, so Christmas and the holidays were always hard to explain. We went and saw my dad every other weekend, but that was kind of a every other weekend. Sometimes we would, other times it would be like a day we'd get to see him, or we wouldn't see him for like months and then we would randomly see him. And neither of my parents were very well off either, so it wasn't like, oh, I got 2 Christmases. No, that's not how it was. It was like, it was a little bit sad. Anyway, I wanted to get on to the point of, once you become an adult, your experience with the holidays isn't a priority very much anymore. They aren't like, you know, oh, we have to get them all this stuff and we have to make sure that they're happy and we have to make sure they have a stocking and all that stuff. For one, the parent that I spent most of my life with, which is my mom, she never ever got us stockings. But my dad would always try his best. If we got to spend Christmas with him, he would always make sure we had a stocking full of like dollar store things and like little trinkets. Once you're an adult, like everybody knows, things aren't as important, and it depends on whether or not you care about Christmas is what defines how you experience Christmas as an adult. For me, I experience Christmas a lot differently than other people because my birthday is on December 29th. That's always kind of messed with my view of Christmas, I feel like. Like, Christmas feels like my birthday. So I freaking love Christmas. And I don't necessarily know what it's like to really get a birthday because a lot of people are busy on December 29th because it's right between Christmas and New Year's and everybody's family is everywhere and they're dealing with, you know, these days a lot of people are dealing with kids, but even just friends, like everybody's busy and I don't expect people to remember, nor do I expect people to want to celebrate on December 29th with me because it's just not, I don't know, it doesn't feel very important to me. So I've just learned to make myself happy on my birthday over the years. I've sort of made it a tradition. Wow, I can't talk already and I took 1 sip of that. So I've made it a tradition in the past few years to get a tattoo on my birthday just because I love, it makes me feel special because it's like something you're doing for yourself and it's permanent and it's, I always choose tattoos that I know I've always wanted, like I have plans. So when I execute them, it feels very good. That's what I've done the past few years, but this year I didn't have the money for that, so I didn't. The point that I'm trying to get at in this video is that this is something that I'm realizing myself. 2020 has not affected me as much as it has other people in the ways that I am used to being isolated, or at least feeling isolated and isolating myself. So the quarantine and all of the things that everybody's dealing with internally from having to isolate themselves from other people, I haven't felt that since coronavirus has started because I've always kind of made myself alone and felt better that way. So this year hasn't felt very different on that level for me, but on every other level obviously it has. And I am very sorry for everybody who it has affected a lot because I totally understand it. I lost 2 jobs due to this whole mess and now I'm a janitor, so yay. Anyway, I wanted to get into what my experience was like on Thanksgiving and also before that oh God, okay, I don't want to call out the specific state, so I'm gonna scratch that out and not say it. My home state is in the Midwest, okay? We'll leave it at that. It's a very, very Midwestern state. It's almost a place that most Americans even wouldn't know exists. And a lot of people from my home state are deciding not to wear masks, and it's very, I am embarrassed to say that I'm from there, and it's almost pathetic that I shouldn't be embarrassed about anything like that, but I still am. And I was born in Colorado, so at least I can say that and I can claim that. But then when my parents divorced, I was raised in this other state. So I went to a very close family member's birthday party, and this was in August. And I honestly very much regret it. You shouldn't be traveling during the pandemic at all. And I knew that, and I still did. This family member is so important to me that I didn't let the virus scare me that much. I knew that I was gonna be wearing protective equipment, so I felt like I would be safe, and I wouldn't be staying long either. I took the chance just so that I could see this family member who's really important to me. I get there, and it's very odd when you're the only one wearing a mask in a big room of people. Like, I was hungry and I was looking around, like wanting to eat, but like also not wanting to eat because I just felt so out of place, and like I didn't know how to eat because I didn't want to take my mask off, so I kind of just let myself starve. And it was a very small apartment, and there was a lot of people. Like, I can't remember exactly, but it felt like 15 or more people, and I was wearing a mask and one other person was wearing a mask. And I ended up not staying long at all, just long enough to see that family member, and then I ended up just leaving and coming back and being like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? There was so much I wanted to say, but I just kind of didn't, because it's my family. And it really makes you think, like, it is hard for people to talk to their family about things like that. And especially when they're just like, oh, well, we're traveling to come see you, you know? Ugh. But I'm such an outspoken person, but only when it comes to certain things. And so I guess I didn't say anything about that specific thing. But then comes around Thanksgiving, right? Now, my family, since being an adult, things have gotten even more broken in my family to where we don't really even gather at specific places anymore. Every year it's different, and my grandma's really sad about it, and it's a whole thing for everybody every year to figure out, well, who's going here? Oh, well, was somebody over here doing something? No? Okay, well, last year she did. Okay, she's not this year. So what are we gonna do? And then it's up to somebody else, and then somebody else plans it, and then literally cancels the day of. I'm not joking to you, that happened last year. And the year before that, on Christmas Day, I moved into my apartment in Colorado. I moved out of my home state and moved into my apartment by myself on Christmas Eve at night because I was so excited to be away from them and away from the chaotic family that I have and the chaotic life that I've had to live for so long that I was just like placed in with no choice. Every year, the holidays aren't really crucial for me. It's more so just the feeling. I really want to make sure that I'm comfortable and happy, and that's about it. Like, I really, really didn't want to be alone this year, and when Thanksgiving came around, I was having issues with my boyfriend at the time, and I was just so afraid for some reason of being alone on Thanksgiving, and I don't know why, but I felt like if I was alone, I would get even more depressed than I already had been in the past few weeks, not having seen my boyfriend. Just this whole thought process of if I'm gonna be alone, I'm gonna be even more sad, and I'm pretty positive that I'm gonna be completely alone. And my mom texted me, and my mom, like, she lives by herself nowadays, and I feel very bad for her sometimes because she deals with depression. And once I realized, like, oh, my mom is completely alone as well, and she doesn't do a lot, she doesn't even work right now, so I figured going to see her would be a safe bet because she doesn't really go out of the house much anyway. So I decided that since I wasn't gonna get to see my boyfriend, I was gonna go to my hometown and see my mom and just sit with her for like a few hours. She said she was gonna make lasagna, and then when I got there, she didn't make lasagna. She was like, nah, I don't want it. My mom is very weird. She like barely eats, and I don't know, I guess when I had gotten there, she had decided at that point she wasn't gonna eat, and it was still early in the day. My friend had invited me over to her house, and she made sure to tell me that her kids and her whole family have been tested for corona and nobody had it, and everything was very safe and very sanitary, and she was making a whole dinner, and she really wanted to feed me because she felt bad that, you know, my family doesn't do anything. And I wasn't gonna do it at first. I wasn't gonna go see them and eat dinner with them because I didn't want to, you know, risk anything. But I was so hungry, and I also regret doing this. I feel just so irresponsible, so stupid. Like, why did I do this? I could have exposed, like, I don't think I have it. I didn't think I had it. I never had symptoms, but I could have been symptomless. And that's the whole point of this thing. And I feel so terrible that I could have exposed them to it because she has children. But it's been weeks and they're fine, so I don't think anything happened. It was a really good dinner, and I at least was happy that I wasn't completely alone. That was my goal. And I got to see my mom. And then I made a video the next day, which is one of my favorite videos I've ever made. The Thanksgiving leftovers video where I make turkey biscuits and gravy. That is a really good video. I highly recommend it. While I watch back the video, I'm looking at myself like, I got those Thanksgiving leftovers from my mother's house that my sister had left there. While I had went to my friend's house. Like, it was a whole thing where those leftovers weren't even, I hadn't even seen where they came from. And I am just such a person who can't waste anything, at least when I know that I'll eat it. I'm like, okay, well, Mom, are you gonna eat this stuff that she just left here? And my mom was like, no, and I was like, I guess I'll take it, you know? And like, I just took it without really thinking about the possible virus all over it from whoever left it, my sister, or whoever gave it to my sister, or whatever have you. So that's what made me decide that I am not going to go anywhere for Christmas this year. I am not going to do anything. I am just going to sit here and drink some wine and make myself some dinner and hang out with my dog. Every single year has been completely different, especially as I became an adult, because like I said, my family, things have like escalated, and I'm not gonna give you guys those kinds of details, but it has like specifically a lot to do with me, and the entire reason I have PTSD may or may not center around one specific person in my family who still goes to certain gatherings. So that has very much mucked up, if you will, my holiday experience as an adult. As a child, I didn't know what was going on. But then becoming an adult and my PTSD really coming to a head, as you'd say, I'm not necessarily able to handle it anymore. And I don't think I should have to. There's many different things that many different people will say, but I shouldn't have to, as a victim, deal with that, I think. Every year I kind of decide just not to go, and just if I do go to my hometown, I'll like just go sit at my mom's house, you know, go talk to her, go eat some leftovers from somewhere, I'll usually go to a friend's house. And this year's no different. It's Christmas Eve right now, and it's about 7:30, probably 8 now. I went to work earlier. I did a bunch of dishes today and a bunch of laundry today, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I might do some painting. Maybe I'll make a painting video and take some pictures because I got some elf ears. This is Elf Raven, by the way. I didn't formally introduce myself, but I am Elf Raven. Hello. I come once a year, but last year I dressed up as Elf Raven for like weeks because it made me so happy. So I'm sad that this year I forgot. It would have cheered me up quite a bit. Happy that I remembered now. But yeah, I hope that you guys don't have the same experience that I do. If you do have a broken family, I apologize. And if your holidays were ruined, you feel like, because of this coronavirus, I am also sorry about that. I totally understand that like this has changed everybody's years completely from how they used to be. And for me, it didn't really change anything other than the fact that now I'm just not gonna even go to my hometown to sit around with my mom. But my dad said he's gonna come stop by probably to drop off a gift for me because, you know, Christmas and my birthday is within the next 5 days. So yeah, my dad always wants to make sure that he tries to get me something. And then just realized I got my grandma one of these cute little owls, and I didn't get it to her, so maybe I'll tell my dad to give it to her. I don't know. I really suck at getting gifts and like wrapping them on time. I didn't even wrap that. I don't know what's wrong with me. Christmas snuck up on me, man, and then my birthday sneaks up on me. I'm gonna be 24. I really didn't want to have to be alone this holiday, but unfortunately, that's what has happened. I'm sure I'll be fine. I did a face mask earlier. I feel a lot better since, you know, my last very emotional video that I'm still unsure of, that I might just take down, you know, just because it's so sometimes I question how raw and emotional my videos can be. Either way, I hope you enjoy them. If you've gotten this far, please subscribe, please like this video, it means so much to me. And if you really feel like it, explain your holiday family situation in the comments. Explain your 2020 holiday situation in the comments. It would be really interesting to me to hear my viewers' views on things and how you feel about certain things. I'm not trying to depress anybody, I'm simply just sharing my story and my perspective on this whole thing. The way I see it is I cheer myself up, especially around these times. Like, just seeing myself like this makes me so happy and it makes me feel like my authentic self. It makes me feel like I could literally walk around as an elf all year and be happy. So maybe that's the kind of person that I'll be in 2021. I don't know. Probably not a Christmas elf all year, but maybe I'll be an elf. I don't know. I just feel more eccentric, especially around this time of year, because even though people are more stressed out, they are more happy at the same time. There is a cheer that comes with Christmas lights and the color red and Christmas trees. I have a little baby Christmas tree. Maybe I'll show that at the end of this video so you get to see it. Whether you're alone or not, whether you have a pet or not, I hope that you're able to enjoy something on Christmas, and I hope that you're able to enjoy New Year's, because that's also really cool and something that I don't really think about or celebrate that much. I don't think I've ever been dating somebody on New Year's, which makes me kind of sad. But whatever. It's such a weird time because it's literally, it goes Christmas, birthday, New Year's, all in a succession of 1 week. So it's hard to make just one of those days special, if that makes any sense. And birthday is very important to most people, but birthday for me is like crammed in between these holidays. So thank you so much for watching. One thing that I forgot to say while making this video is to try to call out your family. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to bring up personal stuff like how they're dealing with this coronavirus, but it's very important that we call each other out during these times, friends, family, and also yourself. Call yourself out if you find yourself slipping, if you feel like you could be safer or you could be making sure other people are safer around you. Try your hardest to do so, and try your hardest to speak up when you see people close to you who aren't being as safe as they could be. Whatever you guys are doing, have a good day, good night, good evening. Can't wait for 2020 to be over. Bye.